Hey there! Did you know that small businesses are extremely vulnerable to attack from cyber criminals right now, and that most don't survive for more than 6 months after a cyber incident? John Byrne here, entrepreneur, insurance professional, online educator, and founder of Surviving Cyber. My goal is to help small business owners and managers like you get to grips with this complex subject of cyber risk. You may be struggling now to clearly see the big picture, but once you separate the myth from the truth, you can begin to significantly reduce your risk. Over the next 15 days, through this video series, I'm going to walk you through 15 dangerous cybersecurity myths you probably believe. I'll explain the thinking behind each myth, why it's dangerous to believe it, and the truth you need to hear so that your small business can stay safe. Now, before we dive in, I want to give you access to my free Cyber Resilience Workshop. It's a 60-minute video workshop that will show you how to create your first survival plan for your small business in 30 days. It's full of practical tips that you can implement. If you don't already have access, use the link survivingcyber.com/workshop to register now. I'll also put that link in the video description below. Now, today, as we continue the video series, we're going to talk about myth number 8. Small businesses don't need to plan for a cyber incident. I hope you're ready to dive in. I'm John Byrne, and this is 15 dangerous cybersecurity myths you probably believe. Welcome to myth number 8. Small businesses don't need to plan for a cyber incident. Let's explore the thinking behind this. The first point often made by small business owners and managers is, my business has a disaster recovery plan, and surely that's enough for a small business. Now, disaster recovery plans are a very good idea, and often a small business will have one, but it tends not to deal with the kind of cyber-related issues that would be dealt with by a cyber incident response plan. So there certainly should be a disaster recovery plan, but generally speaking, that's not enough for a small business. Let's go on and consider more of this thinking. The thinking goes, I don't need to plan for a cyber incident. I'll just call the IT guy or the IT service provider to deal with it whenever it happens. Now, again, as we've seen in other points in the series and other videos, just relying on an IT guy or an IT service provider to deal with a cyber incident is a mistake because of all of the reasons we've already explained. Cyber is not just an IT issue, and it cannot be delegated to an internal or a third-party technology person. But the thinking that I don't need to plan for it is based around a hope that it's not going to happen to me in many cases. And a third view I often hear expressed is, we buy cyber insurance and we'll rely on the insurer to react for us in the event of a cyber incident. Cyber insurance is obviously a strong component of any incident response plan, and an insurer will help. But this kind of thinking that I've dealt with the problem by buying insurance is a mistake. And we'll explain this in a little detail when we come to the truth behind the issue. The myth that small businesses don't need to plan for a cyber incident is dangerous because it really denies the seriousness of the threat that the business faces. And it leaves the business unprepared for a cyber incident. If you felt that a cyber incident was worthy of consideration as something that could potentially terminate or make the business extinct, then having a plan to deal with it is a logical and vital component of any response. So failing to prepare in this way by not having a plan is really planning to fail. And it could be the entire business that fails.
So let's look at the truth behind this myth that small businesses don't need to plan for a cyber incident. Well, the truth is every business needs to plan for a cyber incident. So very different to the opinions we've just heard. And why is that? Well, every business needs to plan, and the plan should be appropriate to the business size and the business complexity. The point being made here is that the plan doesn't need to be complicated if the business is not complicated. The disaster recovery plan should be adjusted to integrate your cyber incident response plan. Usually they're separate plans, but of course they should work together. The reason every business needs to plan for a cyber incident is because every business is exposed to a cyber incident. And particularly small companies need to plan because it could be the event that wipes the business out. And clearly, if you don't have a plan, you won't know how to respond. As the expression goes, failing to plan for a cyber incident is planning to fail in a cyber incident. Experts accept now that it's not a matter of if your business will be attacked, it's when your business will be attacked. And it will be sadly too late to react if you wait for the event to happen. Relying on an IT person or any form of IT resource may not be a good idea because they may not be able to respond immediately and they may not have the skills to do so. Immediately is an important word in that sentence because unlike other events in the life of a business, a cyber event happens very quickly and the damage is done within the first hours and days. In fact, it may be too late to do anything about the cyber event, for example, at the end of a weekend, if the hack was to take place on a Friday evening. All of the damage would be done. So you need to have a plan and it needs to be capable of implementation regardless of the time and regardless of the hour. A cyber incident response plan needs to be implemented by an incident response team and it needs to be tested in advance of being needed. Now the team, again, doesn't need to be overly complicated. You will know who are the key people in your team that need to be involved. And the team could involve external experts also. Sadly, most incident response plans are never tested. When they are drawn up, they're simply put on the shelf as a job done in the hope they'll never be needed. And finally, cyber insurance can be a material part of your cyber incident response plan, as the insurer will have a panel of experts in all likelihood who can respond to the cyber incident on your behalf. However, it's not total giving of the problem to the insurer. Your business will still need to make decisions during the incident, and people will need to know what actions to take and which levels of authority apply. In other words, what they can and cannot do under the terms of the insurance policy. So having insurance in place can be a material part of your incident response plan, but you cannot just give responsibility away to the insurer. The company remains in control of making its own decisions.
Thanks so much for watching today's video. I hope you found it helpful in exploding this myth and revealing the truth. Don't forget to register for the video workshop using the link survivingcyber.com/workshop or click on the link in the video description below. I hope to see you tomorrow as we dive deeper into 15 dangerous cybersecurity myths you probably believe, so we can uncover the truth of how to keep your small business safe.